What's up, guys? Neil over here to take a look at Stokastic's MLB DFS Lineup Generator for tonight's slate. While you're coming in, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. If you haven't seen this new deal that we have from Caesars, highly recommend checking it out. It's in the top corner. You bet $50, you're going to get $250 in bonus bets. In fact, I can make this full screen so you can see what the deal is. Again, bet $50, you're going to get $250 in bonus bets if you use the link in the description of this video or in my tweet. Fantastic deal. A lot of places are going to match your deposit, and that's a great deal in and of itself. If you bet $50, if they're going to put $50 in your account, that's fantastic. But this one, you're 5xing the amount that you put in. Bet $50, get $250. It's going to be in $50 increments over the course of 5 weeks. You need to use that $50 each time you get it within a week after you get it. Of course, any money that you get after making that bet, you don't have to use that within the week. You can hold on to that. Again, check it out if you haven't already done so. If Caesars is available where you live and you have not yet signed up, highly recommend signing up for this now. It's going to expire in September. And of course, you need to be 21 plus in most places to gamble. If you are someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. But check it out if you haven't checked out that Caesars offer, and it's available to you. I can't do it here in Minnesota. It's very sad for me. Really hope that kind of deal is still available when I am able to sports bet here in Minnesota, whenever that may be. Again, also, if you haven't signed up for the lineup generator, it is still, you can get it for 50% off your first week using the link in my tweet or in the description of this video. It's going to be just $4.48 for that first week if you use that link. Let's take a look at some DraftKings lineups here to start. I'm going to do all stack types. We'll get a mix of 5-3, 5-0, and 4-4 stacks. I'm going to do all lineup types, so we'll get a mix of chalky, balanced, and contrarian stacks. And we're not going to lock anybody in. All right, so we have Kyle Bradish as the pitcher in this one. We've got a 4-4 Phillies. No, sorry. This is a 5-3 Phillies and A's stack. Kyle Bradish and Zach Wheeler as the pitchers. I was in FanDuel mode already. We get two pitchers in this one, then a 5-3 stack. Little added correlation here with Zach Wheeler as the pitcher, the 5-man Phillies stack. So if the Phillies go off, Zach Wheeler more likely to get that win. Let's take a look at Bradish and Wheeler in the top pitchers tool. Wheeler, top of the board, 27% chance of being a top two pitcher. Bradish, fourth on the board against Colorado, 23% chance of being a top two pitcher. So two of the better pitchers on the board. And then, of course, we have that 5-3 Phillies and Oakland stack. Phillies are fourth on the board, 8% chance of being the top stack. A little bit of positive leverage on the ownership there. And then Oakland has an 8% chance also of being the top stack and a 14% chance of being the top value stack at 10% expected ownership. Looks good. Looks like a good lineup. Some nice stacks, some nice pitching options. Middle of the board in terms of projected ownership. Looks like a really nice lineup. I'm going to save that one. This one slightly chalkier than the last one. Still not especially chalky. Now we have Zach Davies as one of the pitchers along with Kyle Bradish. Zach Davies, middle of the pack. 9% chance of being a top two pitcher. 22% chance of being a top two value pitcher at 14% ownership. We had the A's again. Now we have kind of a secondary two-man stack of the Orioles. We'll take a look at the Orioles in the top stacks tool as well. The Orioles second on the board with a 9% chance of being the top stack. All right, I'm going to save this one. Then I'm just going to go through and save 20 lineups so we can take a look at our exposures after 20 lineups. All right, so we have 65% Zach Wheeler, 45% Kyle Bradish. Extremely spread out in terms of bats. So we have just 35% Lawrence Butler is our highest owned bat here. 35% Logan O'Hop and Tim Anderson also 35%. Stack exposures, highest owned stack 35%. I really like this. This is very spread out. You know, I often say you can play whatever 20 lineups you get, and that is totally fine. They're all going to be plus EV lineups. You know that when you use the lineup generator, but I like it better when they are a little bit more spread out. So sometimes I go out of my way to spread out my stacks. Here, very happy just to use this set of 20 lineups. Looks really good. It is sufficiently spread out. Yeah, really, really happy with this spread of lineups. Now let's take a look at some FanDuel lineups as well. Going to do all stack types, all lineup types, not locking anybody. Zach Wheeler, our pitcher. Let's take a look at the FanDuel top pitchers tool. Zach Wheeler, top of the board, 11% chance of being the top pitcher. And then the top stacks tool for FanDuel. Let's see, we've got the White Sox and the Orioles 4-4 stack. Orioles second on the board, 10% chance of being the top stack. White Sox third with a 9% chance of being the top stack. So it looks like a really nice lineup. It is chalkier end of the spectrum, but still not especially chalky. And we've got some really low owned bats here. Trace Thompson at 4%, the lowest owned. Elvis Andrews at 5%, Moncada 9%, O'Hearn 7%. So pretty low owned individual bats in this lineup. Looks like a really nice one. So I'm going to save that one. All right, second lineup, we have Zach Davies as a pitcher at just 6,000. That's pretty low on FanDuel. Davies, bottom half of the board, but just barely 5% chance of being the top pitcher on FanDuel. And then we have a 4-3 Cubs Diamondback stack. And we got a little added correlation with the Davies and the Diamondbacks here. Let's take a look at the Cubs, top of the board, 11%, and then the Diamondbacks, 8% chance of being the top stack. So two of our top stacks as well. And this one on the far contrarian end of the spectrum. Interesting. I guess we get the 3% owned pitcher is going to make it more contrarian. 5% owned Christian Walker, 7% Morel, 7% Horner, 7% Bellinger. So some low owned bats here. Really nice looking lineup. I'm going to save that one. And now I'm just going to go through, save 20. After 20 lineups. So this one not as spread out as we had on DraftKings. 65% Luis Robert, 60% Zach Wheeler, 55% Tim Anderson. A little bit more White Sox than I think I'd like, 70% White Sox stacks. I would probably cut back a little bit on the White Sox, maybe try to get that below 50% by just going in and finding some White Sox stacks. You can discard them. You know, whatever lineups you find that you don't like or you want to change, you can discard them and then go back and say, get more lineups and go find some that don't have the White Sox in them. So that would be my approach here. I would try to find some more lineups that don't have the White Sox, maybe cut back on my exposure there just a little bit. But again, I'm nitpicking. Every single lineup you're getting in the lineup generator is going to be a plus EV lineup. So it's just a matter of how much risk tolerance you have, how much you want to have condensed to one team. And I like to be a little bit more spread out. So this, after just making that change, just getting rid of those two White Sox lineups, I'm much happier with this level of exposure. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like button if you haven't done so, and good luck.